America has always been known for its heroes, great leaders, military strategists, scientists, and activists whose names have entered textbooks and become symbols of freedom and progress. However, the history of the United States is rich in those who remained in the shadows, but whose actions and achievements had a huge impact on the development of the country. In this video, we will talk about the unknown heroes of American history who changed the country with their perseverance, talent, and courage. Clarissa Barton, Battlefield Angel. Clarissa Barton, known as the Angel of the Battlefield, was one of the most influential women of the 19th century. Born in 1821, she showed compassion and a desire to help others from an early age. During the American Civil War, she volunteered at the front where she organized to help wounded soldiers. Barton was one of the first women to gain access to the battlefields and provided medical care right on the front lines. After the war, she founded the American Red Cross, which is still one of the largest charitable organizations in the world. Her contributions to the advancement of medicine and social welfare cannot be overemphasized. George Washington Carver, inventor and agronomist. Born into slavery around 1864, George Washington Carver became one of the most prominent agronomists and inventors of his time. His work to improve agriculture in the southern states of the United States had a tremendous impact on the economy and society. Carver developed methods of crop rotation and soil improvement that helped farmers increase yields and reclaim depleted land. He also came up with many ways to utilize peanuts and sweet potatoes, which helped diversify agriculture and increase farmers' incomes. Bayard Rustin, civil rights fighter. Bayard Rustin is one of those whose name is often forgotten when talking about the civil rights movement in the United States. Born in 1912, he became a key figure in the fight for equality and justice. Rustin was the chief organizer of the famous March on Washington in 1963, where Martin Luther King delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech. Despite his immense service, Rustin often remained in the shadows due to his open homosexuality. Nevertheless, his contributions to the fight for the rights of African Americans and other marginalized groups are invaluable. Grace Hopper, computer pioneer. Grace Hopper, born in 1906, was one of the first female programmers and made significant contributions to the development of computer technology. She was one of the developers of the first compiler, which became the basis for the creation of modern programming languages. Hopper was also instrumental in developing the COBOL language, which is still used today in business and the public sector. Her innovative ideas and approaches laid the foundation for modern computer systems and programming. Fred Korematsu, defender of human rights. Fred Korematsu became a symbol of the civil rights struggle during World War II, born into a Japanese family in 1919. He faced discrimination and injustice when the U.S. government decided to intern all Japanese living in the U.S. after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Korematsu refused to obey the relocation order and was arrested. His case went all the way to the Supreme Court, where he lost, but his fight continued. In 1983, his conviction was overturned and Korematsu became a symbol of the struggle for civil rights and justice. Eliza Lucas Pinckney, agricultural revolutionary. Eliza Lucas Pinckney was born in 1722 and became one of the first women to make significant contributions to the economy of the southern colonies. At the age of 16, she began experimenting with growing indigo, the plant from which blue dye is derived. Her efforts were successful, and indigo became one of South Carolina's major export crops, greatly strengthening the region's economy. Dolly Madison, First Lady with an Iron Will. Dolly Madison, wife of the fourth President of the United States, James Madison, became one of the most influential First Ladies in the nation's history. During the War of 1812, she showed incredible courage in saving valuable national relics, including a portrait of George Washington when British troops burned Washington. Dolly also played a key role in shaping the social and political image of the White House, hosting formal receptions and establishing traditions that persist to this day. Bessie Coleman, the first African-American female pilot. Bessie Coleman, born in 1892, was the first African-American and the first Native American woman to receive a pilot's license. She overcame numerous barriers by learning to pilot in France, as she was denied in the United States due to racial discrimination. Coleman became a famous aviator and inspired many people with her story of overcoming hardships and fighting for her dreams. Her contributions to aviation and the fight for equality are still significant today. American history is full of heroes whose names are not always known to the general public. Their lives and accomplishments serve as a reminder that even in the shadows of great events and famous personalities, there are those whose actions changed the course of history. These unknown heroes deserve our recognition and remembrance because it is they who, often against all odds and obstacles, made the United States the country it is today. Subscribe to our channel, like, and share this video if you were interested in learning about those who undeservedly remained in the shadows but made a huge contribution to the development of the country. Tell us in the comments what other unknown heroes you would like to learn about in our next videos.